Hello again and welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and in this video I talk about the prep work that I'm doing, or I share the prep work that I'm doing to get ready for the windows to be received on site and to install them. As many of you who've watched my previous videos probably know, I decided that there are some works that I didn't want to get done in my absence from here on out, and one of them is the installation of the windows. The windows are finally at the shipper's warehouse in Ghana after some delay, and I decided to bring them to site instead of getting a warehouse somewhere else because I didn't want to move them twice. So to be able to bring them to site and get them in the space and secure, I had to decide on where they would be if they came, and also what work needed to be done before I took delivery of the windows. If you haven't seen the windows videos, I've linked them up here for you to take a look at. And the fact that they're here and I decided to get them to site meant that I couldn't be in Ghana to get the Enduit part done. So the first step that I'm taking here is to make sure that we get the place Enduit, because the last thing I want is to get the windows to site in the crates, and then the Enduit messes up something or an accident happens on site while the workers are there, and some window breaks, right? The packing on the windows is really, really good from everything that I saw and from Sarah's testament, but I don't want to chance it. So the idea is this: to get all the patchwork done for the electricals, to get the first coat of the Enduit done, and then get the windows to site. Now, when I decided to get the windows to site, the idea was to put them in the garage, as you can see in this video here. That's the reason why I had us take this video, so I can see what needed to be done. And the initial idea was we were going to use the planks you see to prop, to basically create legs or pegs or platforms that clear the pipes you see on the ground, the electrical, the PVC pipes that contain the electrical wires, before we bring the crates to site to sit on, after the garage has been Enduit. Now, talking to my contractor, he suggested if I wanted to not worry about the wires in the garage, at least we could consider screeding the garage alone, right? And if we screed the garage alone, then we know that we're not going to burst any pipes that might end up damaging electrical wires. So that is the idea that we're going to go with. As you can see here, the installation, sorry, not the installation, the Enduit process has started. It started with them sandpapering the walls and then putting the first coat in parts. Once that was being worked on, the masons came to site. Ideally, they should have been working on at the same time in different sections, but the masons had another work they were doing, and I kind of threw this on them, so I had to wait for them to finish. But I didn't want the Enduit guys to go start another, the POP guys who were doing the Enduit to go start another project and then delay this process. So they started their work, left the patched areas untouched, so the parts of the wall that needed to be patched untouched. And then the masons came in sight, as you will see in parts of the video going forward, and then they ended up patching up what needs to be patched. And then once that dries up, then the Enduit skimming will go over them. Please note, this is just the first coat, so it's just the first pass on it. Now, in addition to that, there were a few things that we needed to correct, and the masons are going to do it as part of the process. A couple of window openings need to be adjusted so that they are uniform. Because one of the things that I don't like is windows that are in, eye shot, but then you realize that one is different from the other, or if one is different from the other windows in the eye shot. The 4 windows in the living room need to be uniform, and they weren't. So we decided to create a uniform windows for that, and I've already taken that step. So the windows coming from China all have uniform, they have uniformity in size in the living room, both all 4 windows in the living room. Similarly, there are 2 windows for the bathrooms, the bathrooms for the bedrooms downstairs, the 2 bedrooms downstairs, that sit next to each other, but because one of the bathrooms is bigger than the other, the windows were made uneven. I decided to make them the same size, so those spaces will need to be. I didn't want this video to be long, so what I've done is I'm gonna put out this as a part 1, and even as a part 1, it's gonna be over 20 minutes long. I apologize for that, but please watch it all the way through. You're gonna see what we go through the process, and then once we do the screening of the garage, and then finish up the skimming and the reframing of the windows that need to be touched, I'll bring you another video showing the finality of the work. Once all that is done, then the windows will be ready to be installed. But once again, I don't want to install it when I'm not there, right? So that is something that I'm working on, trying to get permission from work as best as I can, as quickly as I can, and then be in Ghana and get the windows installed. That does 2 things. It basically honors the promise that I made myself that I want to be there for, the finishing part of the process, every step of the way, every finishing. And in addition to that, it gives me the opportunity to be able to capture, like the opening, like the unveiling, the opening of the box opening, and then taking good videos myself, for you guys to consume, better videos than, maybe someone else who is just a worker and just hurrying through it will take it. I'll say this though, David does a good job, the POP guy. They do a good job filming the work that they do, because they know what I want. And I share their videos sometimes too. You see them in my playlists. As some of the videos that I put up are for David and his POP D&D designs, right? So the idea is still this: we'll finish the skimming, or the Enduit, the first coat. We'll patch whatever needs to be patched. Where the patch work was necessary because, as some of you know, some of the electrical had to be redone. So the new electrician basically cut out, sections so that we could rewire, to take some of the wires off the floor to, that spaghetti mess that the initial electrician did. As much as possible, what we've done is we've taken a lot of those wires off the floor and, through the walls as best as we could. So that for that reason, some of these walls got cut, as you can see in the video, and because of that, the masons have to come patch them up before the Enduit process can be done over them as a first pass. Note that this is not the final. Eventually we're going to do it and it's going to come out clean. But even looking at it right now, it's amazing what a touch of paint, even if it's just the first pass, right, does to a building. It's looking like a home already, right? And I don't even have windows. And this is exciting for me, and I'm happy to share this with you guys. Thank you for being part of this journey. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. Be part of this journey. It's about to get exciting from here on out, because this is the finishing stages, right? So please stick around, toggle all post notifications, so when new updates come, you'll be one of the first to see it. We're doing all of this, to share with everyone, for a couple of reasons, so that you'll be motivated to be able to, take the next step if you are also in this you know, in the same, in similar process. Even if you haven't started yet, I hope, you know, what we are putting out here, you know, motivates you. You know, the prices in Ghana are just ridiculous. Cement is 105 Ghana cedis right now, and you know, I'm feeling the pinch, but we can't stop, right? We've already started. And you know, you see here in the video, the masons have showed up and they're doing their patchwork. The masons and the POP guys are working in tandem to make sure that all of this will look good. The idea is that once we get the garage finished and the garage floor screeded, then we will get the windows delivered and store them in the garage. They'll stay in the crates until I can go to Ghana, right? The place is secure enough, so I'm not worried about, you know, theft really. But really what I was really worried about, initially I wanted to put it out here, what you see in this opening, the opening part of the house, like in the front part of the house where the red light right is. But I was afraid of the rains and what it could do to the wooden crates, even though for BCS, what we do is we choose really, really good wood for our crates, not just flimsy plywood. You know, so I know that we could have left it there, maybe covered it with, you know, tarp and gotten the results that we want, but I didn't want to chance it, right? I think this is a good place to stop talking. I appreciate you listening up to this point. Watch the video the rest of the way. And this is, like I said, this is just work in progress. I didn't want the video to be super long, and I didn't want to cut out any parts. You know, I want it to be as raw as possible for this part of the process, so you can see what is going on. And, you know, hopefully, you know, there's motivation from it. If you see anything that I'm doing wrong here, please, you know, put them in the comment section. We're all learning from each other. And hopefully this, like I said, encourages you to continue doing your build, right? You can do it, right? You can do it. It's frustrating to deal with some of the issues we have to deal with during this process, but if you know, want to start, don't wait. Don't let the prices that are going up deter you. The unfortunate thing is, in Ghana, when prices go up, they rarely come down, or actually they never come down, right? Back to the original setting, it kind of just hovers somewhere, and then that becomes the new normal, and then it spikes again. So please, 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 I hope what we put out here encourages you and motivates you to be able to take your next step, right? Let's build these buildings, and hopefully we can take the intellect and whatever experiences that we've gotten, you know, living elsewhere, into Ghana, and be a bright light in whatever corner in Ghana that you end up living in, so that maybe our little bit of shine can, you know, slowly eradicate the darkness that is Ghana right now. Right? Yeah, sorry, I don't want to get emotional. I'll stop talking here. Thanks again for watching. Watch till the end. And until next time, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Giving me wind and rain. baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh, baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh, You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here